All right, so I have the privilege of having Representative Tarah Toohil here, who represents the 117th.
116th.
116th, whatever.
Yes.
They're all numbers.
They are closely
but that's Hazleton area.
Yes.
Okay.
Southern Luzerne County.
So,
thanks for having me.
No problem. So I wanted to explain to you, and so you understand, we did this real talk because there's homeless out there and they have a blank face, right? And everyone walks by them. They throw, maybe they throw $1 just because they don't want to deal with them or don't want to talk to them. But we want to put a face to their name and show that they're real people and that they actually have real life stories behind it. And prior to you being here, we've had about 4 to 5 homeless individuals that I've talked to and heard their testimony. And some of them are heartbreaking. Some of them are, maybe their own fault that they're homeless, but they're trying to get out of that rut. But one of the things that really shocked me, and she didn't want to get on TV, obviously for personal reasons, was she's a homeless mother. And she has about a 3-year-old that is homeless also.
Yes.
And she's a married couple, and she told me the story that she just lost her home, doesn't, the job market, she just needs to find a place to go. And she's been bounced around from all the services here in northeastern PA and just can't have any luck, right?
Right.
No drug addiction, no mental health issue, just not
housing.
Right.
So housing's the number one issue why people go into the Department of Welfare,
Yep.
end up with Children and Youth Services. Obviously, I've spent my life working, focusing on foster children, which are homeless children. At some point, they become homeless. And we always try to take away the stigma of that homelessness because you say, there's nothing wrong with this child. Like everyone blames the child or thinks, oh, I'm not going to have that child in my house. And you're truly, they're just a homeless child, such as just as people become homeless when they're adults. So you were talking about, I'm sure there's a deficit in a place where that woman could go and stay with her child and
Correct.
have that service together.
And we see that there are services for women that have children, right? But when you're a married couple and now you're saying, okay, I'm homeless, the gap that I see in Luzerne County and Lackawanna County and northeastern PA is that now they have a choice that I got to break that family up, right? The male's got to go into the homeless shelter for males. The mother and the child can go into a shelter for mother and children, but you don't have any family shelters. Now that's one thing Keystone Mission's looking into is actually building a family network.
Okay.
Because you need to have a community to stay together. You need to stay as a united front because the little child recognizes this. And I saw her when she was over there and I was talking to her and she you could tell that she's like, I know my daddy and mommy are going to have to break up. Mm-hmm. And to be 3-4 years old and knowing that is kind of devastating for that. So that's one issue that I see. The other issue is males raising their children. Name me one shelter. I'll answer it. You can't.
Okay.
But name me one.
I don't know if there is one in the area
that has a male raising children shelter. They don't.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of gaps that are out there. Now you're on the state level, and I think it's important that people understand that you can't solve the issues on a local level. When it comes to that, you have to make those state issues, right? So you're covering the whole state of Pennsylvania.
So funding is a large part of what we do in the legislature, funding
Correct.
Groups like these, that especially if we're going to be having, if a nonprofit like this is going to be expanding, looking at having a family shelter is a great idea. Something that obviously we have a problem in the community if we don't have that. I know, and people reach out to you and then you have connections to folks that maybe they own a hotel, they would be willing to keep that family together, put them in a local hotel for a little bit. That might be an immediate solution.
And no, I agree with you 100%. Right. But the issue that I face is that I'm a guy, and you know me personally, is I don't feel like putting a Band-Aid on a situation, right?
Right.
I'd rather put a needle and a suture, write it up, so it's done and over with and healed and goes where it needs to go. And so I ask, my challenge, and I challenged previously to you being here, Kendra and Matt Vogue, is that I challenge that we start finding solutions that are suturing, not Band-Aids. And that means it may not be throwing money to a situation, right? Mm-hmm. And the way I say that is that we don't take government dollars here at Keystone Mission.
Okay.
We are privately funded. We do take, if it's unrestricted funds, right, we will take them, but we don't take government regulated dollars because we feel that we don't want that restriction on what are the rules and regulations.
Okay.
Some of them is you build a shelter, after 35 days they have to remove. Or you can only accept people from your county.
Right.
We accept everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that, the way that they have it set up, but that's the way we decided to choose it. So what I ask is that when we're ready to spend money, right, and we're going for products and services that are out there, that it's going to be for good change, right? Positive change. And
something that's going to lead somewhere,
correct.
Not just be temporary.
Right.
That's
exactly.
understandable.
And let's solve the problem, then try to kind of like keep that problem plateau until it gets there.
And maybe with that family, it's childcare services so that mom can get to work, some career and technical training so mom can have a job, and then that family would be able to thrive.
Exactly.
So,
like,
yeah.
let's give them the service, and it might not be the housing issue. Right?
Okay.
It might be something else. And so, obviously, that's not your answer to answer. That's our services, social services aspect of it. But again, funding them is the way to go. I do commend you on all you do for the foster care. It's a population that I see continuously out there. I see that. I've heard stories of people dropping their kids off at Kirby Park and leaving. Mm-hmm. And then now, who's responsible but children and youth to take care of the children? And then what do we do there? And
right.
it's like.
And now with COVID-19 and the increase in alcoholism, increase in depression, mental health issues, right now we're at an event horizon. So they're saying that like we are just at the beginning of seeing the after effects of what's gone on with COVID.
Yep.
And I think families out there, if they know that there's a resource, even calling your resource mm-hmm. helps link them to existing programs that are going to not let them fall into this really bad situation. Really tough
building
situation.
A community of hope, building a community together that's going to help change. And that's interesting that you said that, because I ran a homeless shelter during COVID time where I stayed for 2 months
yes.
and didn't leave. And we had a woman drop off her child. And before I could get out and talk to the mother, she was gone. And the child's like, I just want to stay homeless. And I'm like, you're 17 years old and your mother just dropped you off. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you have no idea what's going on in your life.
Right.
Now, to this day, she's doing great. She's in a place. She's where she needs to be. But if we didn't have services, where would she be today?
Right.
I do appreciate you coming here. My other challenge is look at the Homeless Bill of Rights out there. Take a look at it. I'm not asking you to do anything yet. Read it.
Right.
See if it's something you believe in. Let's get it out on the House floor.
It's exciting. It doesn't look like it's been put forward this session yet, so there's still time.
So take a look at
Okay.
it. But thank you for coming down here. I know you're a busy woman. You got to get around. But Representative,
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Godspeed in all you're
Yes,
doing, and
thank
stay warm
you.
tonight.
I will.
All right.
It'll be fun.
Thank you,
Thank
Justin.
you.